How's it going, lazy Bruce's up? I'll be Sixkilla. Welcome back to the Zodiac Trial. Now, I wasn't able to figure out what the hell we can do with that tiger path we were doing earlier. I think we got the ending that we needed. I just couldn't figure out how to get the other, whatever the cards were on that particular route. Anyway, so we're going to do a whole new path. I've written down a path that I want to take. So we're going to go, because it's very hard to keep track these days. We're going to go horse and sheep first, and we're going to skip ahead and go as far as it'll let us for now. We're going to have faith in others. And we're going to go tiger dragon. I think we've done this before. If that's everything, let's split up and begin looking for the minor trinkets. Let's. I think I'll search some of the nearby classrooms. I'll join you. Oh, so will I. If it's okay with you, I'll help look this way too. Whoa, what's with the sudden popularity surge? Due to recent events, I don't like the idea of searching on my own as much. Me neither. Is that where you guys are going with her? How strange. I simply go this way because I choose to. You'll do what you want, I'm going to search by myself. If it's all the same to you guys, I'll go by myself. Look people, if you want to work as a group, do so. If you don't, don't. We're all adults, we can make our own decisions. Let's just stop talking about searching and start searching. Isn't that what Dragon always says? Ox's definitive statement broke up the group and sent us on our way. Like they said they would, Rooster, Pig and Sheep searched the nearby classrooms with me. As a group, searching rooms went by much quicker. We determined that a certain room didn't have any clues and no time flat. We then began to search through the next classroom. However, we weren't searching for long before an announcement started to play out of the speakers of our tablets.
Attention animals. Attention jurors. A major trinket has been used, and upon activation this announcement plays on all tablets.
This can't be good.
Someone has activated the butcher's knife.
Oh, we're doing butcher's knife again.
With the butcher's knife in play, at the end of every round, the user will move an additional 3 spaces forward for every corpse the knife is slashed.
Corpse?
Of course, if a corpse is already slashed by the butcher's knife and slashed again, the movement won't take place. To the innocent, I wish you luck. To the butcher, happy hunting.
Instead of elaborating, the tablet speakers went silent. What on earth was that about? It was one thing to play this creepy game with the threat of execution. Now all of a sudden it was a hunt? Who would activate such a crazy batshit major trinket? The others were also struggling with the news. What? What the hell? There's no way I can't run or hide. I don't want my life to end in the crappy retelling of a Richard Connell story. Actually, I wish it was like that. At least then I'd have half a chance of fighting back. Hunting? Me? I know I'm a fabulous catch, but this is going a bit too far. Oh god, I'm really gonna die like this, aren't I? You two snap out of it. Seriously, I'm sick of this group just falling apart at the moment. Things seem to get a little scary. I thought we've already flushed this fear of death thing out of our systems back in the cafeteria. That announcement doesn't make any sense. This has got to be some sort of mistake. Yeah, Sheep's right. Who would use that sort of item? It has to be the person with the determined personality. To them, this must be their only hope at escaping. No way. For now we need to gather everyone to the cafeteria. 3 of us can retreat here, but the other one needs to go to the upper floors and tell everyone to meet back there. So who's going to do it? I'm not very fast or smart. I don't think I'll be any good at this. Oh, me neither. I'm fat, see? So I can't run fast. And I'm short, which means my legs are short, which means less running. And I got really bad asthma, so if things get intense, I won't last too long. Oh, and also, sitting in me would be a mistake. Why, you may ask? Ever heard of a little something called a pinch hitter? Oh yeah, baby. In this little baseball game, I only go up to bat when we got bases loaded, and right now, it's a foul ball. 2 more strikes and we're out. I feel like your metaphor fell apart at the end. So I guess that leaves... Seriously, guys. I'm sure you'll do great, darling. You got a real scrappy hero look going for you. That means you'll surely survive. Yeah, I'm sure you can do something like this way better than I could, Mouse. Fine, whatever. I'm gonna save though. Volunteer. Ugh, you babies. Whatever, might as well be me. Great, thank you. Good luck, Mouse. Quiet, Sheep, she doesn't need luck. Yes, I do. No, you don't. Not when you've got my well wishes. What's the difference? I'll be back as soon as I can. I wasn't feeling particularly confident in the decision, but it seemed as if I had no choice but to go and find the others. I was very aware I might just be stabbed as I try to find the others. But if we didn't group together, we'd be in a ton of danger. Someone needed to spread the news of the where the home base was. Then that someone would have to be me. I made my way up to the second floor. There I found 2 people. However, telling them where the group would be wasn't the first thought on my mind. I'm not moving. Easy does it now. I don't want to hurt you. And you don't want to hurt me. Half true. Don't tempt me. I saw Dog. He was holding some sort of pistol with a silencer, and he had it aimed right at Horse's head. Horse, meanwhile, had his back turned on me, but he had his hands up, clearly not wanting to get shot. But I saw the handle of the dagger in his pocket. Then that meant the one who activated the item. This could be a problem. Mouse. Good to see a friendly face. Mouse? Don't turn around. You don't need to look at it. Dog? Horse? What's going on? It's pretty simple. Just before the announcement, I found this here pistol. Pretty neat, don't you think? Then that announcement came over the tablet, and I became concerned. Not long after, I saw Horse brandishing a funny-looking knife. Now, normally I wouldn't care all that much, but I figured even I couldn't let everyone here get killed by this brute. So I started going after him, and well, we sort of ended up in this situation. And now we're getting to the part where I ask him what he was thinking, taking that deal. I didn't need to tell you. I don't need to not shoot you. Double negative. Damn, you got me. So you can answer my question, or am I just shooting you? Horse, did you seriously plan to hunt us all down? Present tense. I do. What? Did you think differently? I know you don't want to die, but to stay alive you'd kill us all? Why are you that desperate to escape? It's not that simple, I can't tell you, but just know that I don't want this. I tend to find not doing things you don't want to do leads to favourable results, or getting fired from work, one of the two. Talking like this is a waste of time. Hey, we're in agreement. Real sorry, dude, but if you're not changing your mind, I think I'm gonna have to kill you. I'm sorry too. You'd be better suited for this. I hate that it comes to this, but I couldn't see what was happening from my angle, but Horse took something out of his pocket and seemed to bring it to his face. Whatever it was, it startled Dog. Whoa, easy now. What exactly? Too slow. After quipping in a tone very unlike himself, Horse slammed both his fists against his face. This visibly threw Dog off. Not sure what to make of this. In that confusion, Horse suddenly lunged at him. Did he put the mask on again? He was a lumbering beast, yet he moved with awe-inspiring speed. His legs were like cannons shooting him forward, closing the distance between the two. To Dog's credit, he wasn't entirely idle in this. He got a shot off at Horse. Unfortunately, that shot was accounting for when Horse was standing fully up. In his lunge, he leaned forward considerably, and so the bullet only grazed Horse's shoulder, sailing past him and landing in the wall uncomfortably close to me. Before Dog could get a second shot in, Horse grabbed the arm he held the gun in with one hand and punched it with the other. I swear I heard the sound of bones crunching as Dog howled and dropped the gun, sending it skittering across the floor. Before Dog could recover, Horse then punched him in the gut, setting him to the ground. Horse got on top of him and started just punching him, over and over again, absolutely brutalizing him. It was an incredible amount of brutality, a total beatdown. All the while, Horse sounded as if he was laughing. Finally, things came to a head when Horse took out the ornate dagger from his pocket and slashed it across Dog's throat. I was stunned. I just witnessed Horse beat Dog to death. It was nothing like I'd ever seen before. My muscles locked as Horse seemed to take something off his face and put it in his pocket. He stood up. As he turned around, I realized that I had to do something fast if I didn't want to have the same fate as Dog. I would start to run if I were you. Don't waste the chance I just gave you. Horse was right. Though completely different in attitude than he'd just been, I needed to run away, and run quickly. But the gun which had just skidded to the ground would surely be an important piece. If Horse got his hands on it, things would be much worse. If I could grab it before him... I was closer, but he was faster. The alternative would just be to hightail it, make sure everyone knew what was coming. That way, we could at least make a plan as a group. Going for the gun is probably the fail state, because it's the dumb thing to do. I rushed forward as quickly as I could, determined to reach the gun before Horse could. As soon as he realized what I was doing, he launched forward toward the pistol. Luckily, I must have caught him off guard because his reaction was delayed. Perhaps he didn't think I'd actually try and go for it. Whatever the case, my lead was enough for me to get my hands on the pistol well before he could get to it. I picked it up and immediately aimed it at him. I wasn't too sure how to use it, but I wasn't going to let him know that. Freeze. I shouted this with as much intimidating force as I could possibly muster. If I wasn't able to intimidate him, I'd have to risk pulling the trigger and hoping the gun would actually fire. I didn't know how, but my words seemed to stop him. He came to a halt and put his hands in the air. Drop the knife, now. I was going to make the same mistakes Dog did. I kept the gun aimed at his chest, not his head. and I kept a far distance between the two of us. Most importantly, I readied myself to take the shot if need be. Horse, however, complied. The knife fell peacefully to the floor. Good. Now kick it over to me. Sure thing. Once again, Horse complied, using his foot to slide the knife across the floor. I reached out with my foot and pushed it even further down the hallway. As long as he didn't have the weapon he needed to kill people with, Horse was at a significant disadvantage. Far from powerless, but still. So, give me one reason why I shouldn't end your life right now. That'd be difficult. I imagine. You killed Dog. That I did. Why? I have to kill all of you eventually. You look like you're enjoying it. I wasn't enjoying it. Could have fooled me. I say he's got split personality and his other personality's a psychopath. I can tell. So you got nothing to say for yourself? All I can say is this. I didn't do this for sadistic reasons, nor personal reasons. I didn't make a poor decision. Even if you can't understand it from your position. Even if it's impossible for me to... Oh no, I shouldn't say that. Just trust that I have a greater good in mind. The greater good? How on earth did you get the greater good if you're bent on killing everyone here? That sound like the greater good to you? And what the hell does that creepy laughter of yours have to do with the greater good? Fine then. I see how it's going to be. You're lucky I'm not brutal enough to shoot you to death right here and now. Come on, I'm going to bring you to everyone. They'll decide how we deal with you. You're so weak-willed you lack the conviction to finish things with your own hands. To make your own decision? Fine then. How will we move? Walk a fair distance ahead of me, but not too far. Keep your hands up at all times. I'll have this gun trained on you at all times. If you even look like you're going to make a suspicious move, I won't hesitate to open fire. Now go. Head on over to the cafeteria. The two of us made a slow, awkward march down the hallway toward the cafe we started in. Every once in a while, Horse looked back at me. It didn't appear as though he was going to try and make a move. Soon enough, in the hallway filled with windows showing outside of school, we ran into Dragon and Tiger. Dragon was holding some sort of automatic rifle, while Tiger was just wielding a sledgehammer. Dragon, Tiger. Mouse, there you are, we're just coming to look for you. Act as a search party, if you will. But you seem to have brought the party to us, huh? Gotta say, I'm pretty damn impressed. I didn't think you'd be able to pull one over on this mammoth. You knew it was Horse? Bunny saw Horse with the knife. Guess his skills have degraded. I got lucky, that's all. Man, but that's kinda lame. Looks like this game's gonna be over before I even got a chance to fight. Looks like it. In fact, Mouse, why haven't you shot him already? He was trying to kill us all, right? That's... I wouldn't advise that if I were you. Oh yeah, how come? I might be useful. What possible use could someone like you have? For one, I could probably tell you who those men outside are. Men outside? Horse stared to the left. Started to look to the left out the windows. Men outside? I thought this whole thing was set up by Brian. That was the thought that crossed my mind as I carelessly turned my head to look out the window. As I carelessly took my eyes off Horse. In an instant, his right arm lunged out, grabbed the hand I held the gun with, and wrestled the weapon from me. This all happened while the two of us spun around. Horse moved in a circle to quickly put myself between him and Dragon, who was now realizing what was happening. In a blink of an eye, Horse had one arm around my neck and the other one holding the pistol aimed at Dragon and Tiger. Dragon, in retaliation, had her gun aimed squarely at Horse. I was something of a shield, but Horse was such a massive target that I was insufficient cover. Before this turns into a mutual slaughterhouse, I propose a quick ceasefire. It would be preferable for either only myself or only you three to die, no? As it stands, it's likely all four of us will perish. That proposal delivered tersely and quickly, Horse lowered his gun's aim to the floor. Dragon hesitated, unsure, but after she locked eyes with me, she slowly mirrored Horse's motions. You bastard. What are you thinking? Instead of answering, Horse spun the pistol he was carrying around on one finger, and from that lowered position he still managed to get a clean shot off in Dragon's stomach before she even knew what was happening. Seeing this, Tiger rushed Horse, but he raised the gun once more and shot clean between Tiger's eyes. What? Before I could even voice my dismay, my terror, or my frustration, the air in my lungs suddenly retreated as Horse's vice grip around my throat tightened. This wasn't restraintment anymore, it was murder. Why did he just shoot me? I didn't know. That was a close one. I commend you, Mouse. Things are looking dicey for a while, but you really should have acted a bit tougher at the start. That or risked shooting me, because it was very clear, very early on, that you didn't know what you were doing. I could have escaped sooner, but there was that whole mess of the weapons stockpile. Killing you here and approaching the group with no leverage would have been riskier. I gambled that an opportunity might present itself if I went along with you for long enough, and that gamble paid off. Of course, It was necessary to make sure Dragon lowered her gun before killing her. A girl with her vengeful nature and killer instinct? In her dying moments, she would likely have squeezed that trigger tightly and let bullets shower both of us. This way is better. He kept on talking. However, what he said, I couldn't make out. That was the point of my consciousness stopped listening to him and just fought to stay alive. Not that fighting did any good. I'm not sure when I slipped into death, but when I did, I felt nothing. 8 of clubs. Assuming that Mouse is present in the hallway when Dog confronts Horse, she'll likely be faced with the opportunity of intervening. However, Horse is a truly monstrous fighter. It's easy but fatal to underestimate his immense power. Unless Mouse immediately flees from the situation, Horse will kill her. Alright, we'll jump back here, and we'll go run for your life, like we should have done. This is no time for heroics. What I'd just seen was an insane feat. Horse had showed himself to be incredibly athletic. Now is not the time to be thoughtlessly tangoing with him, not without a plan at any rate. For now I needed to get away, and so I ran. I ran as quickly as I could to the staircase, not daring to look back. I don't know how much Horse chased me, if at all. I just know that by the time I got to the first floor, I could hear that he wasn't still after me. Still, I kept on running until I got to the cafeteria. There I found pretty much everyone else. Even without my help, they all had the idea of meeting up, and everyone realized the starting area was the best place to do so. Mouse! Mouse? I see you're safe. What's going on? Where's Dog? Where's Horse? I was bombarded with questions, but first I had to catch my breath. Once I'd done that, I explained what happened to everyone. The mood became a lot less pleasant. In that moment, we all took a second to mourn the loss of Dog. I could tell many people wanted to look at the situation in despair, but my warnings of Horse reminded them all that we would have to wait. Now was the time for survival. How that survival came about, however, was a topic of much debate. I'm still saying that hiding is a tried and true strategy, and the most noble, when you think about it. I mean, anything else would be stooping down to the violent level of our aggressor, and you know what they say about that? Don't do it. Finding places to hide would be the path of least resistance, but it might be one that leads to the least strife. I would not oppose such a notion. Maybe that would be viable if we had the needed minor trinkets, but as it stands, hiding would simply ensure no one survives. That's why creating a safe area is clearly the optimal strategy. We have resources and space as well as clear entrances to defend. Dragon and her group so graciously acquired weapons, so we'll be well prepared to defend ourselves. And this is a strategy built to last. I really like the idea of just holding up here and making sure he can't get to us. Of course, I shouldn't really be one of the people making sure he can't get us. I can't really hold a gun or fight or... That's a coward's way of fighting. It's like puppy guarding. I was always a fan of puppy guarding, and that's why you're weak. If you don't face your problems in life head on, you'll never get anywhere. Dog tried to face his problem head on and look where it got him. Not that it isn't a great idea, but I'm a little concerned about the practical applications of such a plan. If we wait for him to come to us, that gives him the time to search the school. Maybe then he'll find some weapons that'll make him unstoppable. Exactly why we cut him off at the pass. We hunt this arsehole down right here, right now. But, like Mouse said, he's super strong. Yeah? Who gives a shit? I've been in plenty of fights with dudes twice my size, and you know what I did? I kicked him right in the balls. The fight isn't about how big your muscles are, it's about how much you're willing to give. I'm willing to give it all, and unlike those stupid puzzles, I'm good at fights. What are you suggesting? Right now, Horse should just have a rinky-dink pistol, right? That's the weakest he'll be. With that assault rifle, I'm thinking my odds are quite a bit more... You guys stay here, and don't get in my way. I'll go and save your asses. Oh my, playing the lone hero, are we? What, are you going to be a pussy and say that I'm being reckless right now? No, by all means, go for it. I think you have half a shot, and it's better that you go up against that monster than me, arsehole. I think Dragon's right that we need to make some tough decisions. We need to fight, but I don't think you should go and do it alone. Like I said, you'd all only get in my way. And it's not like we have enough weapons to go around. I can handle them on my own, and I don't want anyone else getting hurt. Valuable sentiment that may be, I think we should send at least one other person with you, just in case. This is a risk-reward mitigating strategy more than anything else. Send me. I'm a great fighter, so I'm sure to help. And facing down a bloodthirsty killer like this, that's a hero's role. Let me be that hero. Huh, I respect that. But that's gonna have to be a no from me. I don't plan on dying or some shit like that, but in case I don't make it back, we're gonna need some other fighters to stay back and protect the group. You know, she's not the only other person here who can fight, right? I'd volunteer, but Dragon and I get along as well as peroxide and vinegar. That is to say, we just end up leaving each other burnt. I'll do it. What? I was the one who let Dog die. I was there. I was in the hallway with him when it all went down, and I couldn't do anything for him. I know it's not my fault. I know I might not have been able to change anything, but maybe I could have. And I know if I just sit back now, I'll never be able to forgive myself. At least if I help you, Dragon, I can be redeemed. I like your style, Gil. Alright, you're rolling with me. So, how about I show you how to kick anyone's ass in a fight, huh? Mouse, are you sure about this? This will undoubtedly be dangerous. My mind's made up, Ox. I've got to see this through. Very well then. I guess it's settled. The rest of us will be on high alert down here. Come back safely. And with that, it was decided. Dragon and I would hunt down Horse. From our makeshift arsenal, Dragon picked up the assault rifle and a sledgehammer. I decided to bring along a taser. That seemed more my style. We left the grenade, the sniper, and the pistols in the group's capable hands. Hopefully that'll be enough to protect them just in case. Before heading out, we went into separate rooms and input our actions for the round. Then we departed. Going back up the stairs to the second floor, I was feeling nervous. Would I even be of any use in a situation like this? This is no time for fears. The moment I stepped foot on the second floor, my instincts went into full fight or flight mode. Like it or not, Horse would soon have to face down Dragon and myself, and this time, we were heading in to kill. As we went down the hallway, we caught Horse seemingly absent-mindedly walking out of a classroom. Immediately, Dragon sprung up and started shooting at him. However, he noticed us just as quickly as we noticed him, so he practically leapt down the hallway and hid behind the bend in the wall. I started to chase after him, but Dragon put her hand in front of me. Hold on. He's probably leaning against that wall, pistol in hand, ready to fire back. But what are we supposed to do? Just stand back, I got an idea. Dragon let out a barrage of bullets aimed right down the hallway's corner. I guess it was meant to be suppressing fire, but suppressing fire for what? I wasn't sure. Then she stopped firing and she waited. After a pause, Horse cried out, "I'm not falling for it." Falling for what? I'm not an amateur. You clearly wanted me to think you were reloading, so I'd come out and fire at you, at which point you'd let off the end of your rounds and pelt me with bullets. Cute trick. I'm not that smart, but I'm not that dumb either. Guess I should have known that sort of thing wouldn't have worked. What tipped you off? The number of bullets. What? How could you keep track? I counted. Yeah, I get that, dipshit. I mean, how did you know how many bullets I had in my round? I saw the gun you had. It's a very standard model. I could even guess the store at which it was sold. Brian's far from a criminal mastermind, so I knew he probably didn't have his hands on anything too rare. Damn, I'm impressed. But I guess I shouldn't have underestimated a devil's knowledge of all things violent. Yeah, that's right. I remembered you. Of course, I don't know if you remember me. Dragon, what are you talking about? Long story. Maybe I'll tell you after we toast this sucker. She said that, but what followed was a long, silent, tense pause. In the break, Dragon risked reloading a gun. After a while of this, Dragon talked to me. Alright, I know how to break the stalemate. You do? Yeah, or at least, I got a pretty good idea. That's why we need the grenades. You know the weapon you have there? I looked down at my taser. You mean this? Yeah, see if you can try and disassemble it. Disassemble it? Not anything deep, just pry off the side there. Trust me, it's a shoddy model, I can tell. Okay. Also, should we start to whisper? Horse might be listening in. Don't worry, I'm not. Oh, good. Good catch. As Dragon continued to pin Horse down, I struggled to open the side of the taser. After a brutal effort, I got something of a look at the insides of it. I couldn't tell what it much meant. Nice, okay. First off, separate the strands that shoot out. You mean grab the tip of the taser? You're not firing right now, you should be fine. Okay, fine, like this? Yeah, this is stuff. Just make it into a kind of webby mess. I feel like this will make it a lot worse at accuracy. That's fine, that's not the aim. In fact, it's the opposite. With this, we could shock him around the corner. Shock him around the corner? Yeah, get this. Okay, so first, we're going to get a little closer. Next, you're going to toss the taser sideways, with it facing the direction he's hiding in. Mid-air, I'll shoot the taser, and if it hits that exposed part, it'll glitch out, shoot out, and basically send an electric web his way. Well, wait a second. That sounds ridiculous. Does that really work that way? Trust me, I've done a trick shot like this before. Don't get me wrong, it'll be tricky, but if it works, it'll create the opening we need to end things. It's a good thing we've seen you. I don't think anyone would think of something like that. Well, this is the sort of thing, one of the few things I'm good at. Might as well be real good at. At any rate, this will only work if you toss it the right way. Right now, give it a few practice throws. needs to be real light, up in the air, properly tossed to keep it in the same direction. Okay, I got it. I practiced tossing the taser in the way Dragon told me a few times. It was a little unintuitive, but I got the hang of it fast. Then I realized that the sound of the taser falling to the ground was very loud in this very quiet hall. What on earth are you doing down there? Getting a soda. Getting a soda? What are you, a fucking moron? I panicked, okay? I'm sorry. Horse was equally confused at my answer. Getting a soda? Yep, that's what I'm doing. Why? I'm thirsty. Could you get me one? Sure. Thanks, just toss it down the hallway. Why would you say yes? I didn't want to be rude. Are you serious? Tell him no. I don't want to. Why not? He has a gun. I have a gun. Just tell him he's not getting a soda. You know what? I'll do it myself. You're not getting a soda. Why not? Because you're trying to kill us. That's fair. Whatever, Mouse. You ready? I guess. Do it. I wouldn't have loudly announced the start of some plan if I were her, but I guess it was time to go. I moved closer to the corner and tossed the taser like I'd practiced. Dragon aimed the gun, and sure enough she was able to hit it mid-air. Hit the moving mid-air target with a small spread. I was skeptical on whether or not the taser would actually react like Dragon said, but surprise, surprise, an electric web shot out. I could hear Horse howl out in pain. Taking this as an opportunity, Dragon raced around the corner, gun in hand, ready to take the shot. However, to our surprise, Horse was far from the paralysed wreck we'd expected him to be. As soon as Dragon made the turn, he came racing towards Dragon, and before she could get a shot in, he grappled onto the gun, and with a pull sent it careening down the hallway. Dragon, meanwhile, was far less of a pushover than Dog. Seeing this oncoming attack, Dragon socked Horse right in the side of the head with a hook, causing him to drop the pistol in his left hand and back up down the hallway. Seizing the advantage, Dragon took the sledgehammer off her back and swung it at Horse. Unfortunately, Horse had recovered at this point and backed up. The two stared down each other. Dragon had the sledgehammer in her hands. Horse was fighting bare-fisted. Damn, you don't go down easy, do you? No. So you saw through our little plan of ours. It's a completely sullen hallway. You should have been much quieter. Shit, didn't think that's what did us in. It was pretty obvious either way. I gotta say, if I knew I was coming at you, why didn't you fire your pistol? It's true I might have hit you in that were that the case, but unless it was extremely well aimed, a bullet wouldn't stop you in time from firing the gun back at me. I have no interest in a pointless mutual killing. Agreed, the only way this ends is with your head on the end of a stick. With that, the two began to fight. It was an awkward, seemingly slow fight with a lot of fake-outs and pauses. Not a one of Dragon's swings actually connected with Horse, nor did it look like they were meant to. Horse as well wasn't dashing towards Dragon, the two just felt each other out. I wanted to help, to grab a gun and fire, but both weapons were right by the combatant's feet, and the last thing I wanted to do was get involved in that struggle. What's going on, Dragon? I think you're supposed to be an awesome fighter. Since you're the one with the weapon, shouldn't you have kicked his ass already? What a mouth on this one. As I see you don't know jack shit about fights, I'll let you in on a little explanation. Normally a weapon like this would be great, but under these circumstances it's less than ideal. For one, this hallway's a little tight. It's stopping my swings from being as long and wide as they'd normally be, one of the advantages to a weapon like this. But more than that, Horse here is a hell of an opponent. One misstrike and I'll be finished. Misstrike? Normally when someone takes a full-powered swing from a sledgehammer to the side, it'll knock the wind out of them whether they're guarding or not. However, against this monster, I can tell it's different. He's looking to actually catch one of these swings to block it with his arms. Block a sledgehammer to his arms? I know, it sounds crazy, right? And sure, it'll hurt like hell. Probably take the arm out of commission even. But in exchange, it'll let him win the fight. The moment he blocks that swing, I'll be wide open for him to rush forwards and punch me right in the gut. And against him, one solid hit is the most I can take. So basically, if he blocks my strike, it's over. On the other hand, it's not as if I'm in a great spot either. After all, as strong as I am, a hit to the head with that thing, it'll be lights out for me. Either that, or a strike to the balls. With that, Dragon lunged forwards and swung the hammer up in a surprise attack. Horse was caught off guard, but jumped back in time to avoid the attack. Thought that would work. I guess it's time I make a move to end this one way or another. All of a sudden, Horse reached into his pocket and fished for something. It was the something he wore when he killed Dog. It was the something he would wear when he tried to kill Dragon. He was wearing a cheap-looking skull mask, and it was terrifying. What on earth? There he is. I had a feeling this would be the case when Mouse told her little story. I have no idea what you're talking about, but who cares about that? You won't be talking long after this. Again, Horse reached into his pocket. This time he pulled out the dagger. In a brutal moment, he chucked it straight at Dragon's chest. My heart skipped a beat for a moment, but luckily, Dragon was quick thinking enough to hold his sledgehammer in front of her and block the incoming projectile. Unfortunately, the knife wasn't the only thing that became a dragon. As the dagger harmlessly bounced off the sledgehammer, Horse grabbed a hold of the hammer with both hands. The two struggled for control of the weapon in what looked like an even struggle, then Horse slammed his face into Dragon's, dazing her. He yanked the sledgehammer out of her hands and swung it up into her chest, sending it falling to the floor. In that moment, Dragon looked up at me. Run, now. That's all she got out before Horse slammed the base of the hammer right into her stomach. He slammed it with such force that it pierced the skin. In a horrifying display, he began to slam the head of the hammer, driving the pole deeper and deeper. I couldn't watch, not because I was so disgusted, but because I needed to heed Dragon's last words. But I couldn't let everything fall into Horse's hands. As I ran, I quickly picked up the discarded pistol, then I continued sprinting to the stairs. A part of me thought about turning around and firing at him, but a large part of me figured that wouldn't work. Get away, get away, get away. Flee. I was the prey, he was the predator, it was that simple. By the time I'd gotten back to the others, I was almost in tears. Mouse, you okay? What's wrong? Hey, where's Dragon? What happened? I'm sad to say, but I think I can take a guess. I hurriedly explained everything that happened to everyone. They looked equal parts horrified and disappointed. I shared their feelings. But more than that, I felt frustrated at myself for not being able to do anything once again. Dragon fought so hard for me, and in the end, even Dragon couldn't take him. What on earth? We're gonna die. We're so gonna die. I told you we should have run away. I said it from minute one. This is also strange to me. Yeah, it's a pretty wild situation. Surprised you haven't caught on to that yet. Be quiet for a second, won't you? I'm referring to Horse's skills in all this. He's a real monster. It's incredible. Horrifying. You wouldn't believe your eyes seeing this stuff. That's my exact point. You have to imagine, with what he's done so far, he has a history of violence and crime. And yet he was a key witness in the trial of Mr. Morris. If a witness like that had a criminal record, that's almost certainly would have come up. Does it really matter right now when we're gonna die? I guess he's such a good fucking serial killer he never got caught, huh? So this dude goes crazy when he wears a skull mask. Does he have like a split personality disorder or something? While you're far from the only one, it saddens me you use those sorts of terms so haphazardly. Honestly, pop culture has completely perverted mental illness by reducing it to such simple concepts. Well, it seems like this dude acts differently and starts killing when he puts on a mask. Sounds split personality to me. That's not... At best, the mask may be a physical object which he's learned to use in order to compartmentalize violent urges to a certain part of his psyche. But even that would be a rather rare and extreme case. I think it's high time we put my hide-and-seek plan into effect. Don't you think? No, we're not doing that. It's stupid and it'll get us all killed eventually. Which is why I suggest you all listen up. Last time when we went with Dragon's idea. Tragically, we can now see that it did not pan out. Dragon was a remarkably capable woman, so if she wasn't able to take Horse down in a fair fight, I doubt any of us will be able to, even if we fight as a group. Instead, I propose we go with my plan. We'll set up a trap for him, an ambush, and we make this place into a safe area. That's acceptable. I think that might be for the best. It's worth a shot at least. Man, if everyone picks up a gun and a grenade, I think he can't approach us. Everyone voiced their agreement with this plan. At this point, we were all so panicked that we'd accept almost anything. Okay, Snake, since this is your plan, how do you propose we set up this ambush? I'm so glad you asked. I believe we should make this cafeteria our home base. It is rich in several resources that'll be useful, and more importantly, it's central to this floor. Snake took out a piece of paper and began to make a crude drawing of the area. You're supposed to be an artist? We're in a rush, Mouse, and not going for Van Gogh. At any rate, if we make the cafeteria our home base, Horse will likely come by here sooner rather than later, which is actually a positive when setting up an ambush like this. Alright, but I'm noticing there are 4 separate entrances to the cafe. How are we supposed to set up an ambush like that? We just have to make efficient use of the weapons in hand. First off, the main door to the left will block that using the vending machines. Huh? It shouldn't be too hard to turn them over, right? In that case, I feel as though it should act as a sufficient blocker to those doors. But Horse is super strong. He'll be able to push them out of the way. Maybe given enough time, but then we'll know where he's coming from. However, if he insists on taking the time to push open that door, he'll be wide open. If someone sees him try that, we can just pop out and shoot him. Even with his quick reaction speeds, there'll be little time for him to do an opening hallway like that if caught unaware. Okay, that's one entrance covered. What's next? There's actually a few ways we can handle things from there. At the very least, one of the entrances should be covered by the grenade. By the grenade? With what we have here, I'm confident I can set up a trap with it which will cause the grenade to explode when the door is opened. Now we can place that in the upper left entrance, as it's far too wide. With that in mind, where do you think we should put the grenade? Oh, we're going to have to get to pick. Well, we're actually going to wrap this one up here, because we're out of time for today, but we'll continue trying to stop the invincible serial killer from the Jason from killing us in our own Friday the 13th movie, because it looks like he's unstoppable. Although I don't know why you wouldn't send Tiger. Like, Dragon might be a capable fighter, but Tiger's swole as fuck, right? Dragon's just experienced. Oh well, whatever. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. Thanks for hanging out with me, and I'll see you in the next one.